There's a lot more to medical coding than just knowing how to code, so today I'm going to discuss some of the essential skills needed to be a successful medical coder. Hey everyone, I'm Victoria. I'm a medical coder, auditor, educator, national speaker, blogger, YouTuber, and content creator for medical coding. I'm a certified professional coder, professional auditor, risk adjustment coder, plastic and reconstructive surgery coder, and I am a fellow and an approved instructor through the AAPC. And on my channel, I discuss tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you succeed in a medical coding career. So when you learn medical coding, there's a lot of basic skills you need to learn in order to be successful working just in an office type of environment. Things like scheduling, time management, how to use a keyboard. So let's talk about some of these 7 essential skills you need to know in order to be successful in a medical coding career. One of the first is going to be Microsoft Excel. And I'm not saying you have to be the master of Microsoft Excel. I'm not a master of Microsoft Excel. I'm not familiar with pivot tables because I don't do them frequently enough to remember how to do them. But you do have to know some basic things of how to manipulate data in a spreadsheet. There is a good chance that at some point you're going to have to either look at data, add into a spreadsheet, or manipulate data within an Excel spreadsheet. You're going to need to know basics of how to use Microsoft Excel, how to put things into a cell, how to format headers, how to maybe do a freeze pane, and just how to maybe calculate the total of a column. Some basic things of Microsoft Excel. There's a likelihood that you'll get information on billing data or have to compile coding trends or be given a spreadsheet of, here's all the patient names and MRNs and maybe the dates of service and what procedure they had, and you need to enter in what the code is. Or they might send something back to you and say, okay, here's all of the stuff that we built out. Can you just verify this is the right code? So you need to know how to get into those spreadsheets and just take a look and manipulate the data a little bit and add things in and take things out. Now, the higher up in your career you're getting, you'll probably be looking at more data and want to develop more of a mastery of Microsoft Excel, but you'll at least want to know the basics of how to manipulate data, save spreadsheets, add tabs, the essential skills. So yes, in general, you're going to want to know a lot of the Microsoft products, and a lot of the things I'm going to say are probably Microsoft Office products. Your number 2 would be Microsoft Outlook, which is the most common email program. So not just composing an email, but some other things you're really going to want to know are how to set up your signature and how to set it up so that if you want it to go on just new emails versus anything that you respond to, how to get that signature on. Also things like how to blind copy someone in case you need to forward something kind of to management on the down low. Also, calendar management is very important. I've worked for a lot of bosses who they're very busy during the day. They've got a million things going on, meetings, people they're managing, and you might go to them with something and say, oh, hey, can we look at this case? I need some help. And they might say, okay, well, I'm kind of busy. Can you just take a look at my calendar on Outlook and put something on there? So you're going to need to know how to make that appointment in Outlook to schedule something to have that meeting and discuss that medical coding case. Third thing is there's a lot of virtual meetings going on right now. As I'm recording this video, we're in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic and a lot of things are moving to virtual. So just meeting with your boss or moving to things like Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Google Hangouts and all of these different applications. So not saying again that you have to be the master of them, but you need to know how to install the software, how to hook up your camera so that that's running, how your microphone works, or if you're using your phone, how to dial in to use your phone for audio. So know at least the essentials of how to join a meeting, how to set up a meeting, and how to work your audio and video. The fourth thing that you're going to want to understand is how to use Microsoft Word. And that's a pretty easy one to do a little bit of word processing. But the reason it's so important is, say you're coding for providers and you're looking at this information and you go, oh, they're not documenting right, they're not documenting right. And you go to your boss and you go, these providers are just not documenting right. I don't think they understand the regulations. If they just did this, this, and this, it would really help out. I'd get them more money. They'd be documenting correctly, compliantly. Your boss might turn back to you and go, okay, can you just put together maybe like a 1-page document explaining it and maybe giving some examples. So then it's up to you to maybe copy and paste some information from examples, take out the patient information, put in where the guidelines are, and know how to format that in an appropriate document that is suitable to send to a physician or to a healthcare provider. So you're going to want to know a little bit about how to compose a document, how to edit a document, and even how to hit the buttons to like file and send it as an attachment through email, and even the button to file and save as a PDF, which brings me to my next. You are going to want to know a little bit about Adobe Acrobat, which saves files as PDFs. Now, with Adobe Acrobat, the editors are very expensive, so you're probably not going to have access to an editor for Adobe Acrobat, but you're going to need to know how to convert maybe a Word file to a PDF file, and also use a PDF file if you're attaching a digital signature. In larger organizations, if you're sending something maybe to HR or to an IT department or even to your boss, you might have to digitally sign in Adobe Acrobat, and you need to know at least enough how to enter in information to sign or how to type in information and then save it. And you're going to need to understand things like if you have a PDF document and you don't have a PDF editor, you won't be able to edit that document, but you can edit a Word document. So little things like that you just need to have that little bit of knowledge on. Next is Google Chrome. Now, most computers these days are default to either Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, which is not a great browser. And there's a lot of applications and a lot of web pages that don't load appropriately on them. So everyone has kind of migrated to Google Chrome, which I personally love my Google Chrome. So you're going to need to know how to use Google Chrome. And one of the cool features that I also like about Google Chrome is if you're browsing a web page, you can hit File, Print, and then change the printer to PDF, so you can save that whole web page as a PDF in case you need to reference it later. So little things like that, how to do that, how to do your bookmarks, to bookmark all of your favorite coding websites, and just know that if you're looking at something in Internet Explorer and it's not loading correctly, to maybe go into Google Chrome and try loading it there, or vice versa. There's a couple of things that maybe don't load in Google Chrome but will in Internet Explorer. So know the difference between those two internet browsers and the preferences of when you should use them. The last one is Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, as a beginner, you might just need to know how to go in and look at a slide, but the more advanced you get, they might be looking at you to start creating some of those educational materials for your providers that you're coding for. But at the very least, you should know how to open up, look through the slides, and you should know how to print them. So there's a difference in the ways that you can print for those PDFs. You can print out the whole slide, or you can print like 3 different slides with notes on them, or how to just save the handouts. So those are things that they might even say to you, like, hey, we're having a big education day. Since you're our new coder, can you help us out maybe printing out some of the handouts and putting them together for everyone? And as you go on and start maybe doing more education, there's some crazy cool stuff that you can learn how to do in Microsoft PowerPoint. And they've made it like stupid easy these days that you just click a button and hit design and it'll come up with a really cool design for you. I always like to tweak those designs if I use them because I think it becomes a little too obvious that I'm using like the templates. And I want things to kind of flow a certain color. So if I'm making like my PowerPoint slides and they're all kind of like at a purple hue, I want to change the designs that they've suggested to more of that purple hue. When Microsoft PowerPoint first came out, one of the cool features was it had like little noises on it, like you could press a button and it'd be like a race car noise would come or a cash register, and everyone just threw that on everything. And I think sometimes now we're doing the same thing with the design slides. People just go through their slides and they pick random designs and it kind of doesn't flow appropriately. But anyway, I'm getting way too advanced for just what you will need essentially as a medical coder is just how to know how to look at a PowerPoint slide and how to do the difference between the edit version and maybe the presentation version where it shows the whole slides, because you don't want to see like all of your notes at the bottom of the slide while you're presenting. And the great thing about a lot of these skills that you can learn to advance your medical coding career is that you can learn them for free on places here like YouTube. You can search Microsoft Office Excel tutorial and find tutorials to help you learn for free how to navigate through some of these basic things that you need to learn. Because the bottom line is, it's expected in any sort of office environment that you're going to have like a baseline of some of these skills. So it's not really up to your employer to sit down and teach you how to use Microsoft Excel or Word, because those are almost, things that we're expected to have a small amount of exposure to these days. So do yourself a favor, get yourself a little bit further ahead by learning some of these skills. Find those free YouTube videos, maybe find some books. You could borrow them for free probably from your library to just learn the basics of some of these to help you out in your career. And if you're in a larger institution, check some of those big online archives they have of classes that you can take on demand, because sometimes they do offer some things in general office skills and even things like time management or how to deal with conflict and stuff like that that might help you out in your career. And I hope my videos are helping you out in your career. If so, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get the alerts and you never miss another episode. And I will see you in the next episode. And until then, please just keep on coding on.